Hello guys, this is leathertoolz. Today I'm going to restore REGAD handles. These are the specifically tuned up for ADECE machine. And ADECE machines, they are there are two types of handles. One, you can use their own handles, and you can modify the end for this machines. And I'm going to review this ADECE machine also. But beforehand, I'd like to restore this handle. These were from QTAX Korea. They have connection with the famous high-end companies. They can get this used machine from them directly, and they sell them very good price. And these handles were used in those ateliers, and as you can see, there are wears of signs of wear a lot. They have this. They look to it. It kind of looks vintage though, but I'd like to just get a fresh, clean look before I put them into use. Overall condition is quite nice. There's no crack, there's no burnt wood. It's just, I think, the surface stain marks, and there's some lettering, the A, and the area where there was this sticker was on. It's quite a different color, so I just want to make it uniform. And before I treat them with my oil and waxes, I'd like to just get them fully cleaned. So yeah, this is the project I'm going to do. So I tried my best to remove the stickers safely. So I think I will try to save the stickers after I finish the handle. I'll put them on as best as I can. So before I do that, I'll try to tape them, and I would like to make the cord a bit more easier to manage. So I thought it was a fun project to do it in front of camera. So you can do it by yourselves, tuning up this cord. This is not a special connector, you can get it, but if I were you, I would recommend it to get it from the manufacturer or QTAX Korea, where they sell them. So I'm going to just quickly run them. You do notice that there's some edge coat stains on this cord, and I tried to remove it chemically, but then this rubberized cord, I'm not sure what kind of material this is, but if I try to remove this edge coat, I might damage the rubber coat as well. So I'll just not to try to go take a chance. I will just leave it there. So yeah, just wrap them like this. Alright, so basically I'm going to stand them all out. So before I do that, let's tape them so that I don't get the wood dust particles inside this handle parts. Okay, so let's try here first. I seal it up nice like this, and this side as well. If I'm sanding any type of steel or anything that's conductive, I definitely want to seal it, because I don't want to short circuit these connectors. And these dust particles, especially if you're sanding carbon fiber, you really have to be careful that your surroundings, that your computers, whatever, they don't get the dust particles in, because a lot of computers, CPUs especially, get fried up if you use carbon fiber dust particles. And if it gets into circuit boards, it will definitely short circuit the whole thing, and your computer will be ruined. So be aware of where you are working on. But in this case it's wood, so it doesn't matter really much. Alright, so lastly I will tape up this important area as well. Alright, so now it's sealed up, and I'm going to sand with the different types of sandpapers. And the first sandpaper I'm going to use for this kind of job is I'm going to sand it with the cyanide sandpaper. It's designed for wood mostly. It's cyanide CER ceramic sandpaper. It's not really a paper, it's a mash, but it has a very rough, what would we call it? Rough rough ceramic like claws here, so you can cut them very easily. You can cut wood very easily, efficiently, and this wood particle will come out of these small holes. So it's very effective, but it's very rough sandpaper. So if you use this sandpaper, you will definitely have some deep gouges in your wood. So you'll have to finish with much finer sandpaper as well. Okay, we'll just try to make it into equal size around here. Yeah, and to use this sandpaper. So this is what it looks like after very rough sanding with the cyanide 100 grit sandpaper, and it looks very rough now, but it's very clean, much cleaner. And I'm not sure if you can see very dark marks here, but these are not really disappearing even if I sand it down quite smoothly. So I'll just leave it there. I think it's quite deep. And when it's rough, I'll try to oil it. I do it this way so that I don't have to sand it again after oiling. So while it's rough state, I'll try to oil it with a boiled linseed oil. I need to oil my handle that I'm restoring also. Then I'll also try to oil normally I will I soak the handle into oil, and I do this kind of restoration, but this is an electronical handle. Parts inside, especially when you break away, there's a circuit here, as you can see, so I don't want to ruin the whole part. So just apply the oil like normally when you oil your furniture or something. Okay, so oil soaks in nicely. I think it's from the heat and the age this handle was used to. It has definitely dried out quite a lot. So I'll just keep apply until it gives very much oil, almost all saturated with oil, and I will wipe off the excess. Apply a lot of oils. Just try to rest it on the table, and meanwhile I wait. I apply the other one. This handle looks much cleaner than the other handle, so I like the result very much. Alright. applying. Heavy coat of oil, because the wood will absorb most of it. Because the wood is so dry, it will absorb all of the oil that I put. If you see the bottom one, I can see already it's fully absorbed. So I will heavily coat this handle with the oil like this, and then see, it's all dry now. So heavy coat oil is all absorbed into the handle. So I keep doing this until it doesn't absorb anymore. Of course, if you do it slowly, you will definitely see the wood will absorb the oil very much, but you don't want to take this forever. So that's why I try to roughen this wood handle very roughly, so that oil gets into this handle very well deep inside this wood, because it has more pores, it has a more grainy texture on the surface, so it will absorb oil much better than you fine sand this wooden handle. So this is what I do, how I do it. When I restore any vintage wood handle object or any wood type of leather tools, I try to roughen it and then oil it while it's rough. See, now it's dried again. So you keep applying like this. I just want to show you. See, it's dry. So the reason why we don't want dry handle wood is when wood gets too dry, it cracks very easily. Oops, yeah, see? This is what it looks like inside the electrical part. So we don't want that, okay? Don't want that to be soaked in oil. So we just keep applying them in a method like this, yeah. Alright, so this is finalized. Looks like it doesn't get dry so easily quickly anymore. So we need to wait for about 3 or 4 days to fully cure. So what it means is that the boiled linseed oil will start to get dry very slowly because it's heavily soaked. So we'll wait for a longer time, so that before we finish it to higher sanding grids, it will be well sanded after it's fully dried. So it looks like this for dry. I will just try to place it like this so that it does get fully dried like this. So I will continue this project after 3 days. So about 1 week later now, the linseed oil is fully dried. It doesn't sticky. Doesn't feel wet, and the wood is quite hard now. I can feel it from the surface. It's not so soft anymore because the wood absorb the oil, boiled linseed oil, and then it cures. It polymerizes with oxygen, so it becomes a little bit harder. Now, like I showed you before, I sanded all this down with the 120 grits. Now I will move on to the next rough grit. I will start with the 320 grits. Normally I would go with the 200 grit first also, but I don't have that sandpaper now, so I will use 320, and it wouldn't matter much. So I'll try to sand everything to smooth again, because after wood absorb the oils, it raises the grain and the wood surface becomes very rough, not because of the 120 sandpaper, but also the wood grain rises from the surface. So I will sand all smooth down with the 320 grits. So now it's sanded down to quite fine. I call it medium with the 320 grits. It's a smooth, but it's not completely smooth, and it's up to you for your choice that you need some grip in your wood. You don't want your hand completely slick. So you might stop here, and you might utilize this kind of grip texture, medium fine texture of your handle, so that you can use your handle better in that way. But for me, I would like to just make it very smooth down, has no any rough spots. So I would like to go with one more grit. I would like to finish with the 500 grit sandpaper. So I'll do the same, only just higher grits. Right, so I have sanded down to 500 grits. Now it's very smooth, and I'd like to wax this. And this is just a homemade, self-made wax. It's a beeswax finish. I mix with boiled linseed oil, and this will protect the handle, make it waterproof, and so on. And you can find your way to how to make this kind of wax. It's everywhere. It's on YouTube also as well. So this is my favorite part. As you can see, this handle looks kind of whitish, rough state, but it's quite smooth. And this is my favorite part. As you put your wax in, you get this high polish sheen to your handle. So I like this process quite a lot. Yeah? So this happens only when you polish it to higher grades. So I like this kind of sheen. Yeah, like that. It looks quite nice. At this current stage, because we oiled it heavily, the wood handle will not absorb as much as oil and wax, but just in case, we'll wax it 2 times so that we coat this wood very well. So I'll just rest it here, and also look at this. It's really nice. And lastly, we don't want any wax debris get into this spot, so we'll just get it out. So from here, alright, so before we let it dry, we want to wipe it off. A lot of waxes, because this will be sticky if there's too much. So wipe off all the excess. So you have to let it dry for a few days before use, and that's it. This is how you restore ADECE handle. So thanks for watching, guys, as always, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye.